What's up, YouTube? Name's Brooks. Wanting to start a series of podcasts talking about some money things, some government issues, some public opinion, different things like that. Kind of feel like the public's voice isn't heard very well, and that bothers me. Um, I just want to I want to get America back to what America is, what America was, what they've turned into nowadays. And it seems like the people are silent, are not heard. Either they're not being heard or they're not speaking up. And we need to make that a change. And I hope there's other people out there like me that want to see a change in this government, want to see a change in this nation. I know there was supposed to be a big change with the new president, and I've only seen negative changes. To be honest, I mean, I don't think there's been a president since I've been alive that has made a positive change that I've noticed. Uh, this last go around was the first time since I've been alive since we've seen a negative change, and a huge drop in economics and huge drop in employment. And I mean, it's affecting us now. And of course, everybody blames everybody else. Well, it's not my fault. It's the president before me's fault. It wasn't his fault. It was the one before him. Everybody's worried about people making decisions based on the oil and how we're suffering from gas prices skyrocketing. And there's ways we can fix that. I mean, we are the people of America. We are the ones that make the decisions. This is a democracy. It's not, a communist country. We make the decisions as a people. And if we stand together as a people, the decisions will be made. But we have to stand together because separated, we're weak. United, we're strong. That's how this country was founded. I just want to throw out there some numbers for you guys just to let you know. I'm going to do a lot of podcasts, and each podcast is going to be different. But mainly everybody wonders, where's the money going? What are we spending our money on? Uh, I mean, granted, we just had all these bailouts for all these major corporations. There was a lot of money spent towards that, but you know, where's the money going now? What's it doing? I'll tell you, prisons. There has been let me check my stats. There's been an over 600% increase in prison growth since the 1970s. We have, let's see, 6 million people under state supervision. Um, and apparently, every day, 200 new jail cells are produced in the United States. Am I saying that locking people up is wrong? No, no. There are people that deserve to be locked up. There are people that deserve to go to prison. They shouldn't be roaming around the streets free because of what their actions. You have to pay for your actions. Justice has to be served. But it's amazing. Taxpayers pay over $32 billion a year to fund these facilities. $32 billion a year to fund these facilities. The average cost for an inmate that taxpayers pay a year is $22,000. That's on average. That's more than most people make right now. I'd say that more than half people make right now in the United States. I think 26,000 is what the average income is. Um, in most areas, big cities, it's going to be higher. But $22,000 a year to house one inmate, you know, giving them 4 meals a day, a place to sleep. Um, they have exercising, they have activities, they have some prisons have televisions. They're treated fairly well. And it's funny because of somebody that stole $300 worth of merchandise, which would be a felony, and they're put in prison. If they stay there for 5 years, it cost taxpayers $100,000. So they stole 300, and it cost us $100,000. That just seems kind of weird to me that we're paying more to keep that person locked up than he actually stole in the first place. Should he be in prison? Yes. I think he should be. I mean, $300 being stole is a lot of money, but we have to think, why are there so many people in prison nowadays? Well, most prisoners, by statistics, show that they're uneducated. A lot of them can't even read. Most of them make less than $5,000 a year if they worked prior to going to prison. Most of them were unemployed. So, let's think about that. Instead of spending all this money on building prisons and all this money on, the cost of keeping a prisoner, fed, clothed, entertained, all this, why can't we spend that money on keeping them out of prison and making their lives better? I'm not saying, the rapists, the murderers, these people committed crimes that deserve, severe punishment. And I do agree with that. However, it seems to me it's pretty odd because I've heard of cases here recently where there are rapists, there are murderers that are walking free, and there are people that wrote code checks that are still in prison. That doesn't really seem too fair to me, but that's the criminal justice system, I guess, at its finest. Um, but back to the topic at before, um, the money that we're spending, I think I said 52, yeah, $32 billion a year. $32 billion. And it's probably increased. These are statistics from 2008, so it's probably increased dramatically since then. But $32 billion a year being spent on a facility that houses these criminals. Um, let's think. What can we do with that? We can create new job opportunities. We can improve education in lower income areas, so that these people get a better education and that they get better options in life, so that they don't have to pursue the life of crime. Once somebody goes to prison, their life is changed. They're marked. They're watched. It's harder for them to get a job if they've committed a felony. Um, so there's really only one choice for them. That's to continue doing crime. Is that a good way, to treat our our people, our citizens of the United States? Depending on what they do, I find it's kind of borderline. If somebody goes out there and kills 10, 15 people, and you know that's pretty bad. So I feel as if they should be marked. But if somebody goes out there and somebody has identity theft on them and writes $600 worth of code checks, and they get put in prison for that, well, they're marked for the rest of their life. Or if false accusations are brought up against somebody and there's no evidence shown, but they still get convicted, due to a plea bargain or something like that. I don't know. Uh, they're marked for life. So what did they do? They pursue the life of crime. You know, what if we what if we made organizations that employed felonies, people with felonies, organizations that worked for the state, so that these individuals didn't have to pursue the life of crime. They could work a job that not only helps them, but also helps the United States in the whole. You know, all around win-win situation. Plus, we could, that's less prison space, that's less money that we have to just throw into the prison system. That's more money for us to spend on our country and the development of our country. Because right now, guys, I mean, I see bad things for the future. I mean, banks are getting tighter. There's been cuts in Medicare, Medicaid. That's the majority of the health care in the United States that's being cut. State workers are being cut. But we're still spending all this money to ensure that inmates have a place to stay and food to eat. Um, it just seems like we're taking care of the wrong people. You know, you might disagree with me. If you disagree with me, that's fine. Please let me know. Like I said, this is going to be like a free forum thing. I'm going to talk about different things. I want your comments. I want your perspective. You know, I want to get our voice out there. I want us to get to be heard as Americans, and as Americans make changes to this United States. Um, and we can do it. We definitely can do it. But we have to stand together, and we have to make a change. We have to do it. We don't just vote for one person to make all the decisions for us. You know, that person's supposed to listen to us, the people, and supposed to do what's best for us, the people, and for the country. That's what the role of the president, you know, is. Granted, he's got, you know, other technical roles and stuff that, you know, I probably don't even know about. But you know, this is a democracy, and in democracies, people, you know, people make the decisions. We're not under communistic or communist rule. It's a free country, and we should be able to speak our minds, let it be heard, and decisions made, and actually see, you know, something come out of it. So, you know, I mean, one thing I just want to throw out there: throwing all this money into prisons. You know, we're not really doing much to rehabilitate and to see that these people don't have to live such a negative lifestyle. We could save tons of money, and provide employment for individuals with you know, that have made these bad decisions, that have you know, been dealt that bad hand. You know, and that would allow us to keep the murderers, to keep the rapists, you know, to keep the, you know, terrorists, you know, people like that. It would allow us to keep them in a facility and not completely be, you know, overpopulated so that they're letting people out left and right just because they don't have any more rooms. You know, it's a pretty good idea in my, you know, my head. So I mean, you know, I think we need to spend less money on purchasing prisons and keeping inmates in prison, and more money on rehabilitating inmates that can be rehabilitated. Develop programs, state organizations to where they can work, even though they have a felony, where they will, you know, not sit at home and draw a check, or, you know, still pursue crime. They'll actually be contributing to their area. They'll be contributing to the United States and be getting paid so that they can live the life that they want. And granted, it's up to them whether or not they live, you know, a good life. If they continue to pursue crime, it's up to them. But at least we can do is offer them, you know, a chance, and quit spending all this money on just doing the quick resolve, the quick solution. Let's throw them in a cage. Let them sit in there for a couple of years. Maybe they'll learn a lesson. They're not learning a lesson. No, no. The only thing we're doing is making them worse. That's it. I mean, the United States imprisons more people than any other country in the world. And we're supposed to be the land of the free. And like I said, I'm not completely against the prison system. I just think that we're taking the easy way out. And by taking the easy way out, we're spending more money that we do not have, money that could go towards something that will better our country. And, you know, eventually these prisoners will get out, and they will be in the general population. And then what? You know, then what? So just an idea to throw out there. I hope people respond to this. You know, I hope there's some people out there that want their voice to be heard as well. But just a small town boy, and you know, I'm tired of seeing, you know, all the negative things that are going on in the world today. I'm ready to see some positive things, and this is the only thing I can do is go to YouTube and voice my opinion. That's pretty sad, but thank you, YouTube, for making it available, and hopefully get some good feedback from this. Once again, I'm Brooks, and